Excuse me. Hi. It's good to meet you. My name's Matt. Now, if you're stood before us today, it's almost always for one of two reasons. First reason, and unfortunately the most common, perhaps you've been struggling to sleep, in some cases at all, at night. Second reason is that perhaps you already have a fairly or healthy sleeping pattern and you're looking to maintain that, or perhaps even enhance it a little bit. Alright, now I'd like you just to take a seat, lay back, and please get comfortable. Now obviously you're with us for the rest of the evening, and I'd like to start by saying you have nothing to worry about. Second step, I will be covering you with what we call a relaxation blanket. By no means the most imaginative name. However, these relaxation blankets are infused with a very subtle lavender characteristic. Lavender, as you may know, has several favorable properties, one of which is to encourage and aid with healthy sleep. The reason that we cover you with the blanket, it's amply warm in here, but our mind in everyday life has an ability or a function of covering ourselves in armor. Sometimes that's a physical armor. People hide behind suits, behind nice clothing, behind shirts, behind revealing clothing in some cases. Other times we have a mental armor protecting ourselves. So while you're with us and you're preparing to sleep, we like to cover you with what we call a relaxation blanket. And all it's doing is helping your brain kind of reinforce that mantra of safety and relaxation. Third stage. I will be running you through a series of questions. Once the questions are concluded, we will be incorporating and running you through a series of processes. These processes see us introducing and testing various physical stimuli. Now, you may or may not be familiar with the term ASMR. Okay. While early studies suggest that only 1 in 10 people experience ASMR, 100% of people in our clinic feel further and a deeper sense of relaxation while being subjected to these physical stimuli. An example is having a brush gently work its way across the surface of your face, like so. Now, ASMR can be likened to something as similar as goosebumps or chicken skin, some call it, or having the hairs on your arm and neck stand up. Now, usually your hairs stand up as a reaction to a certain stimuli. Perhaps somebody is making a poetic speech, maybe somebody is singing and it touches you in a way, it touches your mind in a way that your body has a physical reaction. In this case, your hairs physically raising up on ends. ASMR works in a very similar practice. You have a series of what's called triggers to help encourage this ASMR sensation, and it's usually characterized by a vibration in the back of the head that feels very pleasant and works its way down, sometimes down the spine. Now, whether or not you experience ASMR, if you do, it's an added bonus. If not, you'll be treated to some lovely sounds and fabrics and experiences that culminate in a lovely night's sleep. Okay. Sounds good? Of course it does. Alright. As I said, third stage, I'll be asking you a series of fairly rudimentary questions. From there, I'll be checking your heart rate, just to make sure that you're in a relaxed state. Okay? From there, we will start the series of trigger processings. If you are to fall asleep at any point, it's not an issue. We will be fixing some fairly simple monitoring gear to each temple. Again, nothing invasive. It just allows us to study your simple brain patterns, and we can tell very easily when you're in a REM cycle, for example. Good. Now, without further ado, I would like to proceed to the first question. Now, are you comfortable? That is actually question 1. Okay. Good. Next question. Can you provide to me your full name, please? Okay. And that's your birth name, okay. Good. Now, the next question is more of a mini assignment. Let me put my paper down for but a moment. I'd like you can close your eyes if you wish, but I'd like you to listen very carefully. I want you to realize and make yourself aware of the fact that right now, the way you're sitting, the way you're lying back, I want you to acknowledge that your body is entirely weightless. Now, what I mean by this is that you are laying back on the bed or the chair, but you require no force, no energy for you to remain in the situation and the position that you're in. The structure that you're sitting or lying on is essentially making you float. You can just lean right back into this and feel that you're being supported and feel that you're being carried. Okay? And I want you to really visualize that. Take comfort in the fact that somebody else is carrying the burden of your body for right now. Your mind is entirely weightless. You are so relaxed in this moment in time. Really think about it. remarkable situation. Appreciate it. Good. Thank you. So now, in our semi-weightless, completely relaxed state, I will move on to the fourth question. And if you feel the need to drop off and doze at any point, we can just continue whenever you're ready. Alright? You're doing very, very well. Good. Question 4. When was the last time you had healthy, uninterrupted sleep? When I say uninterrupted, I mean your body didn't wake up prematurely. You weren't woken up by an alarm before you were ready to wake up. Okay. Really? Well, that's why we're here. Alright. Okay. And how long have you been dealing with a less than optimal sleeping pattern? And again, to be clear, when I say less than optimal, I mean less than 7.5 hours, 8 hours a day. Let's call it 7, let's be generous. Oh wow, really? You know, sleep is more than just finding a way to rid yourself of lethargy. Sleep is by far the most optimal and most effective period of time that your body can repair and regenerate, maintaining homeostasis. Okay. Your body's creating billions and billions of new cells. It's not even the exact figure of how many cells we make in a day still isn't known, but it's estimated to be in the billions. It takes a lot of energy. This is happening passively within you. And then we as human beings find ways to expose our body to illnesses. We are in accidents. We pump our knees, scrape our arms if we fall over. This all requires repair. And the body needs that time to restore. Okay? Now I am essentially preaching to the converted here because you obviously understand the necessity in sleep, and that's why you're here. Okay. Next question. What does your diet comprise of primarily? Any vegetables, fresh fruit? What are your thoughts on if you had to turn vegan for let's say 6-month period? How do you think? Well, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Do you have any allergies that we need to be aware of? None of the tests we'll perform on you today, you won't be ingesting anything. Just for skin irritation, really. Okay, good. Okay, and if you tell me your date of birth, please. For some reason, the entry form had left that blank. Mm-hmm. Of course. All right. And the final question for just now. Actually, 2 more questions. First question is, how often, if at all, do you get to exercise for at least 30 minutes? A 30-minute walk would count. Okay. All right. Final question. When you are able to find the elusive sleep that you're struggling to maintain, when you're able to actually fall asleep, do you dream? And if you do dream, generally are they quite happy, quite confused? Okay. Not a problem. Yeah. Okay. Perfect, thank you. Alright. Now, as I mentioned, I would just like to very quickly listen to your heart rate. Let's pop this up your shirt. Place it over the heart. And I'd like you to breathe normally for me, please. Just in your way as you normally would. Okay. Good. And if I was to ask you how relaxed you're feeling at this very moment, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're feeling quite anxious, 10 being your Zen-like relaxation. Okay. Listen to your heart once more, and I want to see if this question had an impact. Okay. It increased very slightly, and that could be that your body can generate a little bit of anxiety, even the thought of having to think about anxiety, which sounds strange, but it's something to note. Okay, we have your details. We've monitored your heart rate. Now I would just like to pop on these little tracker pads. 2 little sticky labels that just pop into each side of the temple. Again, that will allow us to monitor your brain patterns. As I said, these are not invasive. Completely harmless. I'm just going to pop this on the temple. Temple here. Temple there. Good. I'd like you to look straight ahead for me, please. There we go. I'm just gonna. Good. Let's pop you over here. Need to plug this in. Good. Okay, now this allows us, as I said, to track your brain, your beta patterns primarily, and some of your delta waves. Okay? Relax. Now what I will be doing, I'll be circling a chair that you're sat on and administering various triggers. Okay. And none of these will be painful in any way. They will be entirely relaxing, and just allow yourself to drift, be thoughtless, 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 thoughtless. Now the first sound I'd like to expose you to this is actually a beard brush. We've been told on several occasions the sound of a beard, and in some cases the visual image of a beard being brushed can be very relaxing. So you can see here it's now quite chaotic, more so than normal. And we take the brush and we're just brushing away that chaos, that disorder. Step to your side. And again. It's just a sound. Okay. And again, the question, on a scale of 1 to 10 of relaxation, 1 being the least relaxed, 10 being the most, where did this put you? Good. Okay. Now the next trigger is actually for me to measure parts of your shoulders, your arms. Okay? This is a very simple tape measure. Again, you can close your eyes for this. I'm just going to be working around you, starting off with your length of shoulder to shoulder. Is measuring from the shoulder to the middle point, the breaking point of the arm. That little fold where your elbow is. Okay. Very good. Now let's pop to the other side. I'm just going to take some very simple dimensions from collarbone to collarbone. And you can remain perfectly still. Part of you doing nothing is actually one of the ASMR triggers. The being fussed over and a personal attention thing. Thank you, very good. We'll have one final measurement. It'll be from the elbow to the wrist. a very brief haircut. I won't actually be cutting the hair. I'll be moving around the frame, cutting around the head. Okay? If you wish to close your eyes, you absolutely can. Now this will sound as if it's going right round the back of your head to your other ear. Now coming round the front. Good. Good. Very good. And again on the scale of 1 to 10, please. Okay. Okay. Now the next is a tapping trigger. And the unlikely participant, the little box of Pringles that I actually got on a first-class flight. Again, I'll ask you to close your eyes, please. Good. And again on scale of 1 to 10, please. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. The next trigger is actually positive affirmation trigger. And all I'll be doing is reminding you of some home truths. Sometimes we have to learn to ignore the perceptions we have of ourselves and listen to those we love, because they know you best. They see how amazing you really are. They see the compassion, the caring nature of who you are. You are amazing. You're amazing. You're an incredible human being. And even sometimes you might not be your favorite person in the world. You're our favorite person. You are your family's favorite person, even if sometimes families can seem unfair, unsupportive, mocking almost. Deep down there will be a bond that is almost unexplainable. And they will love you because you are amazing. And you're going to be okay. And no matter what life throws at you, you can always find a way to be a little bit happier. Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, please. Thank you. Now this is a very heavy, very dense water sound. And the water sound can be quite hit or miss as a trigger. Some people find it too tinny, too piercing. Some people really like it. Good. The next trigger will be a hand sounds trigger with a very small amount of a moisturizer to give my hands a little bit more of a creased sound. Hand sounds can be so relaxing, even if you can't experience ASMR. There's something very reassuring. GB ASMR. Okay. According to your brain patterns, again, you're even more so in that zone of relaxation. Of course. And how was the last? Yeah, well, that sounds okay. Good. Now the last sound I'll be creating is a keyboard sound. actually an avid gamer, and I always wanted a mechanical keyboard. I've always tried to spend a bit more money on my PC or any electrical device because I like to invest in that it'll last a little bit longer. It won't grow old or out of tech quite so quickly. However, for peripherals, mice and keyboards, I wasn't in the habit for spending too much money. A mice or a mouse maybe, but never a keyboard. And this one day, I saw there was a new mechanical keyboard. And I decided I deserved it. I want to buy it. Now, I've been gaming for at least 15, 20 years at this point, and never once had I ever damaged any peripheral, really. But no sooner than the same day, this mechanical keyboard that cost 80, 90, 100 pounds, no sooner had it arrived, and I spilled an entire cup of tea over the centerpiece. What's worse, immediately the keyboard stopped responding. I then proceeded to attempt to dry it out. Little did I know that the radiator that I left the keyboard on top of gets so hot it actually melts the keys. And the keys of my mechanical keyboard were now wrapped around this radiator. By the time I got them off, well, they were no longer fit for purpose. Nor was the keyboard that I had spilled tea all over. No less than a day after I bought it. I don't know if there's a lesson there or not, but it does the same job. Maybe it's not investing. Okay. Now I appreciate that was quite a short but mixed bag of triggers of what you experienced. What do you remember as most as truly relaxing and lowering down those levels of stress and kind of increasing you towards that zen space? Okay. Okay. That's what we wanted to hear. Perfect. How was the lavender blanket? Good. They always go down exceptionally well. Okay. Okie dokie. We got quite a lot of information from this, actually. More so than I anticipated. Good. Good. Very well done. Okay. From here, my notes will be transcribed, and our team will put together a comprehensive report of your reaction to certain stimuli against the answers you provided to our questions. And these two will be then intersected with the brain pattern and the brain waves we see when you're sleeping. does conclude part 1. So I'm only going to step out of the room for a little while, and when I come back in, if you're asleep, it's not a problem. We can continue the next day. If I come back in and you're awake, we can continue on with the results. Your report is generated almost immediately because it works on the basis of an algorithm from previous experiences. Sure. The human analysis obviously comes from myself interpreting what I'm seeing. Absolutely. You're more than welcome. Of course. I do hope you have a restorative and restful period. I won't be gone for more than 10-15 minutes. Again, if you feel sleepy, don't be nervous, don't be apprehensive, just close your eyes. Let your heavy eyes just drift closed and relax. Remember to fall back into that bed or that seat, that sofa. Just fall right back into it, all of your weight. Don't support anything of yourself. Rest easy, and I'll see you next time. Good night.